Hey guys, this is Tyler. So kind of a weird show you're gonna have going on this week and next week. So Gables and I recorded on Friday night, and we were gonna release it next weekend to give us another week off. But there was a lot of news that happened while we were out. We played some games also, obviously, since we had more free time since we weren't doing the show. But we went very long, and I thought the Nintendo stuff being a little more fresh in everybody's mind, and there's a lot of Nintendo stuff that happened this week. I was going to release that part now, but unfortunately it was the second half of the show, poor planning by us, of that recording. So I'm actually going to release that part first. So you're getting the second half of what was supposed to be episode 247 today, now, as you're listening to it, and then you're going to get what was the first half of 247, which will now be 248 next week. So I just want to give everybody a heads up what's going on. It's going to be kind of a weird recording you're going to get here. We're already an hour in. And then next week is going to end just abruptly because we had another 45 minutes of talking that we didn't even know about. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy this show, enjoy our takes, and let us know what you think. Thanks, guys.
Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Sit back to the back of the back of the grab a six pack, sit back to the back of the back of the grab a six pack, sit back to the back of the back of the grab a six pack, sit back to the back of the back of the grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast.
All right, then. Let's move on to a lot of Nintendo news that's been happening. It has been a crazy couple weeks just in news in general, but especially for Nintendo, especially this week. So I have been like fucking a crack fucking heen. Just like, where's the direct? I just need a taste. Give me a taste. All these rumors, we're reading about it. Like, it's been long talked about. There's going to be a big direct in January. Then it was like, I was even talking to Justin about, like, it'd be really cool if, like, on the 1 year anniversary of the original Switch reveal press conference they did a direct January 11th, and then the rumors started coming out. January 11th, there's gonna be a direct, and I'm like, oh shit, cool. And then like the 10th came and went, and you're like, fuck, there's not gonna be one. When the fuck is it gonna happen, Gables? When is it gonna happen? And then like I go on Twitter, and it's like 6 a.m. Pacific time, 8 a.m. my time. I start seeing shit about a Nintendo Direct. Oh shit, I jumped off Twitter. Like, I'm like, the rest of the day was a very long day at work. So I'm like, when the I see get home, I don't want to be spoiled. I want to watch fucking Direct. Come home, it's a 14 fucking minute Direct, Gables. Bullshit. So anyways, there was a Direct. A lot of stuff happened. They kind of went over a lot of stuff that's happening over the first few months of the year. I'm going to run through everything real quick, then we'll talk about it at the end.
Yeah.
I covered the big stuff. There's a lot of little things in there. If you want to add those in there, you're more than welcome to do so. But The World Ends With You Final Remix is coming out this year. It was a DS game. It's being remastered for the Switch. So this is coming out in sometime this spring, I believe they said. Pokken Tournament is getting actually basically a DLC. It's going to get two waves. Wave 1 on January 31st and Wave 2 on March 23rd. In Wave 1, it will feature, oh, Jesus Christ.
Aggie. Let me take care of that.
No, let me do it. I'm a big boy. I can do it. Aggie slash.
Okay.
And then you're gonna have support Pokemon, Mega Rayquaza, and the adorable Mimikyu. Did I get those right?
Okay.
No. Wave 2 will feature classic Pokemon Blastoise. I got that one. I know that guy.
Okay, yeah. Of course, that's original.
And then, along with new support characters, Mew and Celebi.
Okay, you got those two. What's
right. Wave 1? I was pretty close.
Okay, so you were pretty close, but Wave 1 includes like that Sword and Shield Pokemon by the name of Aegislash.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the support characters, let's see, was the Mega Rayquaza and a Mimikyu.
I got that one. I got one. All right, cool. Not bad. Not bad. I got 4 out of 6. I'll take it. I'll take it. So they'll also have new items and costumes, and you'll be able to customize your trainer avatars. Next
Even
up,
more.
Yeah. Yeah. Next up, Kirby Star Allies, which is the Switch game, got a release date March 16th. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition is coming this spring. It
Nice.
is basically the Dynasty Warriors, but with the Zelda's skin on it. Then Mario Tennis Aces actually is coming this spring. It's Mario Tennis. It's gonna have a story mode to it, multiplayer and all that. So yeah, that's cool. And then moving on to the next thing, there's gonna be a free update in February for Mario Odyssey. It's Luigi's Balloon World. You find Luigi, and you can play online. You hide balloons, or you can find balloons. You got 30 seconds to hide a balloon, or you got 30 seconds to find balloons in the world, and you can like raise your ranking depending how hard it is to find your balloon and how many balloons you find playing the game. And then Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, the new update. They announced that there's going to be a new world, and also Donkey Kong will be one of the playable characters you'll add to your crew. And that is out this spring, which kind of is a bummer because it was originally supposed to come out in January. So I don't know what's going on with that. And then Faye or Fee, I don't fucking know what it is. It's one of the EA original games. That is coming out February 16th for the Switch. It's coming out to everything else as well, but this was actually leaked 3 months ago. That Faye release date was going to be announced on the January Nintendo Direct. That's kind of when the whole thing happened with the rumors for the Direct. But yeah, release date February 16th. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is being ported to the Switch, and that's coming out May 4th. And then Dark Souls Remastered is coming out on May 25th to the Switch, but it's also coming to PS4 and Xbox One. So that's pretty much all the big news that came out of it. Gables, what did you think of this Nintendo Direct Mini?
To be perfectly honest, I thought it did a good job in terms of not only getting people excited, but also it actually went forth and made people more excited for the unveiling. I mean, the biggest news out of that whole mini direct was the unveiling of the remaster of Dark Souls, the original one.
Yeah.
I mean, the aspect of playing Dark Souls on the Switch, wherever you're at, that is really tempting. I mean, it's almost as tempting as, say, when Skyrim released on Switch during last year. But as far as the other games and stuff are concerned and stuff, a lot of these are ports. A lot of these are remasters, either from the DS or from the Wii U and stuff. And, holy shit, think about this for a minute. It's like the Wii U basically feels like it almost never existed at this point. Because it feels like all of its classics that you've been, for some of us hardcore Nintendo fans have been playing now for the past, 3 years, are all of a sudden coming, in a big old wave right on the Switch, in its, first initial, 2 years of being out in the market. Not only did we get, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, not only are we going to be getting Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2 sometime this year as well,
February 16th.
But now you have Hyrule Warriors, you have Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, you basically have, pretty much most of the exclusive stuff from the Wii U, barring a couple obvious ones that I know that we wouldn't forget, obviously like Captain Toad. Just think of that option, man. Captain Toad on Switch. It just makes sense.
I put money down that we're going to get a Mario 3D World Captain Toad package this fall. That's got to be one of the big fall games.
I'm still holding out that Platinum Games is probably going to bring out a remaster thing of the Wonderful 101, quintessentially. I mean, that was a great game in and of itself. And you got to believe that Nintendo, in and of itself, is probably going to be bringing back Super Mario 3D World. It just makes sense. Yeah. It makes sense. They've already put out some, like most of the first party games that they've made on the Wii U, ported them over here to Switch. So it would make sense if games like Captain Toad and games like Mario 3D World make its way as well. But I could see that potentially as being like a E3 sort of announcement for like the, not like just the holiday season, but maybe the early the next year sort of stuff. Like, say, this is the time of the year where they're going to unveil certain Wii U ports and then, like, maybe go forth and, like, unveil some new stuff, like, along the way. But what was very telling about this mini-direct, it was very focused upon the spring region. Like, the whole, like, spring region of, like, the first part of the year. But what's most surprising about it is Nintendo did not touch anything upon the online service at all in this mini direct. It was more or less akin to like showcasing plenty of the games that we have either heard of or like through rumors and speculation, or at the same point we are, the Wii U ports, the DS ports and stuff. But I tell you, the most surprising that I thought, what surprised me most was a remaster of The World Ends With You. That is a classic game on the Nintendo DS. I have my original copy still. That game is, well, back in the day, like almost 10 years ago, actually. I played that game. I could not get past certain extents because it was that type of RPG where you got to look at the touch screen, like the top screen and the bottom screen while trying to play through the game itself, and I kind of was having a hard time controlling both characters on like specific screens and stuff. But it just sounds like to me that they've kind of remedied this with the Joy-Con options and this and that. So I'm kind of excited to see what they do to this classic that's going to be remastered and ported over to Switch. But it also kind of makes me wonder if it's going to be a tablet-only type of game, True. I thought it was a good direct overall, but pretty safe, honestly.
Yeah. In a nutshell, it was a good direct. I think my disappointments in it were, one, hype, and two, just kind of what wasn't there.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of go. It's like no different than like an E3 or any other direct, where it's just like the things that weren't there really are the things that probably bum me out the most sometimes. Like obviously Captain Toad. But I really didn't expect. I wasn't really expecting Captain Toad. I figured this one would focus on the first half of the year. But when I saw it was only 14 minutes, I was like, shit. All right, well, I already got to lower my expectations for it. Yeah. Before we get, I jump into the overall direct thoughts. I look at the online service, and I thought I could have sworn they said it's early 2018, but they haven't heard anything about it, which I'm okay with, because the longer we go without them talking about it, that means the longer it is before they start charging us for it. Which in its current iteration, I don't want to fucking pay for that thing. I'm not paying $20.
Yeah,
for
no
thing.
shit.
The virtual console thing.
At the moment, no.
Yeah, no. It's pretty lousy. Friend codes, online, no party chat, no using the stupid app. Yeah. So the longer it goes, that means that's more time for them to work on it and maybe improve it and have some cool shit come out with it. No Smash 4, I think, was the biggest thing. The Wii U Smash game. That makes me think, like, I think that game is definitely is coming. If you're porting over, no disrespect for these games, Hyrule Warriors and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, you've got to be doing a Smash game. Either it's a new Smash.
I hadn't thought about that, actually. Yeah. That makes the most sense.
Yeah, if Smash, I think, was one of the 2 or 3 high-selling games on the Wii U. And you're, like I said, you're releasing 2 very small niche games for the console. That tells me there's either a new Smash, which I highly doubt at this point, or it's a remaster, or the port, which to me, and I've said this for about a year now, almost a year now, is that game is going to come out with the paid online service, because they got to release with something. They got to give us a fresh reason to pay for this online service, and Smash is probably their biggest game for it right now, with Mario Kart 8 already being out there, Splatoon 2 is already out there, ARMS is already out there. But yeah, moving on to the actual the direct though, poker tournament. I'm glad there's more stuff coming to it. That's a game I've been wanting to play. It's just I'm waiting for like a sale on that game. Kirby Star Allies. I never actually really played Kirby before. I played a couple back on Super Nintendo back when I was a kid.
You really haven't played too many Kirby games, huh?
No. So I'll probably pick this one up. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up when it comes out, just because March is getting crazy.
Yeah.
You got March 16th. You got that. We'll talk next story. Detective Pikachu's come out March 23rd. A Way Out comes out March 23rd as well. Far Cry 5 comes out March 27th, and there's a couple other ones I'm forgetting. But that's just me personally. That's all those games come out in like a 10-day span that I want to play, and so I don't know if I am definitely. That's probably the next game I'm going to buy on the Switch. Oh no, actually, if Bayonetta 1 and 2 I'm buying next, but as far as like new games, that's the next one I'm buying. So yeah, I don't know. It looks fun. Look, could be good. Could be cool. Also, actually, I forgot to mention Yoshi. Where the fuck is Yoshi? Is that must be a summer game? I imagine that maybe the big summer game or something, because that was supposed to be early 2018 as well. And then moving on, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. Totally in on that. Loved, and I've been singing the praises of Hyrule Warriors since 2014. I love that game. I bought Fire Emblem Warriors because I love Hyrule Warriors so much, and happy to play that again. And it has all the DLC that I didn't get to play the first time around in it, so that's gonna be a pickup for me for sure. Mario Tennis Aces. This feels like we need to scrub the image of that shit show that was the Mario Tennis Wii U game that came out just not even 14 months ago. That it's like a 58 on Metacritic. It's got to be one of the lowest scoring Nintendo first party games of all time.
It has to be, yeah.
Like it was piss poor bad, and yeah, I played Mario Tennis back on 64. I want to say, remember GameCube 1 and 2, and it's fine. It's fun. I don't know if it's a game I'm gonna pick up. If it's a $60 game, probably not. If it's $40, okay, I'll give it a whirl. Having a story mode to it actually was the thing that kind of piqued my interest. Ooh, boss battles, story mode. Okay, that could be cool. That could be fun. I'm curious if we're gonna have more details about that before it comes out. No release date, just spring. Free update for Mario Odyssey. I could give a shit less about that, the balloon game, honestly. When they started saying an update for Mario Odyssey, I'm like, oh shit, we getting DLC? No, it's just Luigi's Balloon World. It's a bad use of Luigi. Just make it another math game with Luigi if you want to do something. If you want to waste his talents. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. It's my number 2 game of the year last year. I thought this was coming out next week. Come to find out, it doesn't. It's a spring. But I'm happy we got Donkey Kong. That's cool. I just want it. I just want to play more Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I want more content in that game. So I'm happy that we're getting more. So yeah, fucking give me that shit now. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Cool. I played it back when I first got the Wii U. Justin's absolutely loved that game. Remember he told me that was his game of the year for 2014. I want to say when that came out, 2013 or 14. And yeah, it wasn't my bag. I'm more of a Donkey Konga type of guy. That's the greatest use ever of Donkey Kong. So they should just do that again. I'm waiting for that port. I'll buy the Congos again. I don't fucking care. Let's fucking do this shit, yo.
You somehow find the freaking Congo drum somewhere at a thrift store, and you just plug in the Wii U fucking thing of the USB
Let's
ports
do it,
on
man.
the Switch.
Mario DDR and Donkey Konga. Let's fucking do this shit, yo. I'll play some Rock Lobster on Donkey Konga any day of the week, yo. Put that shit on hard mode and I'll fucking 100% it. But yeah, Dark Souls Remastered. That's probably like you said, probably the biggest thing coming out of it commercially. Obviously, personally, I don't care about it. I think that's cool. It's a big get for them. It was kind of a bummer coming out later on, finding out no, it's coming to everything, not just the Switch. But no, that's cool. Obviously, Dark Souls on the go is awesome for a lot of people. Skyrim, I heard, did really well. Doom, sales wise, and Doom sold pretty well. So obviously, there's some big support for these ports. And the Switch, in a way, is turning into a port machine, which is a good thing. At least they're getting something. When with the Wii U, they're getting nothing. And the Wii at the end of the generation was getting.
But the
nothing
difference is it's getting quality ports.
Yes.
These are not like toss-away games. These are great titles that were on the Wii U that barely anybody played because of the small install base.
Yeah, well,
So,
I was looking more at the third-party ports they're getting.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I agree. Yeah, they're at least getting. Once we start getting to like the Star Fox Zero ports, then I know they're fucking scratched at the bottom of the barrel. But no, I thought overall, like I said, in a nutshell, it's good. It was a fine direct. Some cool stuff came out of it. We got some more details on things we already knew about. But I feel like there's gonna be another direct coming, like with some more details to cover some more bases on things. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Like there's got to be one like March, giving more release dates for maybe some of the stuff, or more details on some of the stuff they talked about, or just hyping up people more. Because like March seems like March is gonna be a decent month for Nintendo. You know, they got Kirby, you got more stuff for Poké Tournament. You got Detective Pikachu, and then you got stuff coming in the pipeline for that as well. So yeah, I mean, Hyrule Warriors doesn't release date yet. Mario Tennis doesn't release date yet. So all the more reason to me that there's gonna be one in the next 6 to 8 weeks. So yeah, like I said, overall pretty good. Disappointed overall going into it. You know, people were saying it's gonna be a E3 in January. You know, and it was, for what it was fine. It just, internet got out of control as usual. I guess that's the internet for you. Fucking Nintendo Twitter, man. That's the best worst thing sometimes. But moving on to one of our other topics here for Nintendo. Detective Pikachu. This came out today. Very telling, actually. I forgot to mention with the direct part though, was there's no 3DS stuff at all announced, and then this came out this morning. I don't know if you saw the trailer for this. Have you seen the trailer for this?
I haven't really seen the trailer yet, but
damn, Gables, it's so good.
Tell us about it.
It's so good. So, the synopsis for this game is, you play as Detective Pikachu and his partner Tim Goodman, as they search for clues and solve a series of cases while investigating the disappearance of Tim's father, Harry. And they are a vital part of the duo. Pikachu will be able to talk to other Pokemon to obtain clues that Tim wouldn't be able to find on his own. So I watched the trailer. This game, I think, came out a couple years ago in Japan. It's a big thing. There, like Dan DeVito. People were like, "We want Dan DeVito to be voice Pikachu," and instead we got Ryan Reynolds, which I'm cool with. I like Ryan Reynolds,
dude. Fucking Ryan Reynolds. That's awesome. Still,
he's awesome because they're doing they actually like sent him on. He's gonna do the movie. There's gonna actually be a live action movie coming out for this, and he's gonna play the voice to Detective Pikachu. But the trailer, listen to Pikachu talk, is jarring to say the least. But this comes out on March 23rd. It's coming out to the 3DS, unfortunately, not the Switch. There's also going to be a special Detective Pikachu amiibo releasing alongside of it. It's going to be $30, and it's like twice the size of the current Pikachu amiibo.
Wow.
And it gives it's supposed to have like hints to solve puzzles and get clues. So that's a day one buy, the amiibo and the game. I'm happy to have a reason to play the 3DS this year. I take that back. I'm not happy to have a reason to play the 3DS this year, but I'm happy that the reason I'm playing it is Detective Pikachu, because that's probably the only game that they can announce, other than Captain Toad 2 being a 3DS game, that would make me want to play that game or play my 3DS. So yeah, watch the trailer for it. Yeah, there's a lot of voice acting, a lot of trailer, like actual video game cutscenes. Looks kind of like a Professor Layton in a way, with the puzzles and the clues you gotta solve.
Yeah.
But it's fucking Pikachu talking with a cute ass detective hat, and he's like this fucking grizzled veteran detective, like you'd see like in a stereotypical movie from the 50s.
Right.
He reminds me of the old detective guy from Heavy Rain. He's like that, but Pikachu.
Which, like Ethan, not Ethan, but there's someone. Oh God, bless it. I know there's someone that from Heavy Rain that just kind of reminds me of what you were just describing.
Yeah. So, fuck yeah, I'm in. I don't have really too much more to say than that. But, Phil, yeah. What about you, Gables?
You know what? I'm open for it. I really wish it was a Switch game, but I'll see how it is. It's like I'm not really like in a hurry if it like when it comes out though. But I'm kind of interested in the concept.
Yeah. I think. Oh man. I'm pumped. I'm actually pretty pumped for that one. That might be like of all the games coming out in March, that might be the one I'm most. I don't know if looking forward to is the words I want to use, but or optimistic, but it's the one I probably want to play the most.
Yeah.
There's some good shit coming out in March, like I've already said. There's some games that are probably gonna be a lot better. This just looks like a beautiful disaster, and I'm game. But moving on to some other stuff. This came out a couple weeks ago, but Nintendo Switch is now the fastest selling home console in U.S. history. I believe they also broke a bunch of other records in like Europe and different countries in Europe. But in 10 months of being on the market in the United States, it has sold 4.8 million. In that time, the Wii sold 4 million, and at that time, the Wii U sold like 2. Justin Gables were those two. These are the actual like the sales numbers and the attach rate for the for the 4 biggest games for the Switch. Zelda, Breath of the Wild. 55% of people that own a Switch owned Breath of the Wild, with 2.64 million people, and this is just the United States numbers. This isn't worldwide, by the way. Mario Odyssey, with a 60% attach rate, which I thought was really interesting, being a game that came out in late October, and Breath of the Wild being a launch game, with 2.88 million. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with 50%, 2.4 million, and Splatoon 2 with a 20%, with a 960,000. I believe ARMS was like around like was slightly below that actually, with like a few 100,000. So that's just United States numbers. Obviously, extremely impressive. I think that's a big thing, obviously, with Mario being a 60% attach rate, shows one, obviously, is Mario is a much bigger franchise than Zelda, which I think we already knew. From a commercial standpoint, Mario is probably one of the more popular IPs out there that anybody can name than anything else out there right now, maybe other than Mickey Mouse. But yeah, I thought that's pretty incredible, I worked at a game store during the first, year plus of the Wii coming out. I remember the hysteria around that, working at a game store, and we had to put a sign up that said, "We have Wiis," and hanging it up on the fucking ladder in mid-December in Iowa. And we were selling shitty bundles with Discovery Channel games and charging $600 for it. Pissing people off every other minute of the day. But yeah, I don't know, Gables. Where are you at on this? I mean, we're all Switch owners. It's like, what is the limit to this thing? Like, how is this gonna? What is 2018? Wasn't 2019 look like? It's crazy.
It is interesting to think that not only has the Switch been successful, probably one of the best launch consoles in U.S. history, but also upon that is like it's just amazing that there are people. That whole attach rate for like Super Mario Odyssey suggests that people probably had not only like bought the Switch at launch, but a lot of them bought it around that October 27th timeline or during the holiday season just to play Super Mario Odyssey. Which that in and of itself is very impressive, and it also rings true that when that company releases a system that people actually want to buy, and games they actually want to play, they almost like nothing else holds a candle to that, because inside this pop culture, inside the gaming industry, and inside the stuff in general, it's like a strong Nintendo console and games and stuff that appeal to everybody. It's like can be like a fantastic kind of like phenomena when when the things actually go forth and do right. But I don't know where this is going to go or how it's going to keep on going. I mean, my hope is it keeps getting higher and higher, because the more that we get in terms of people buying the system, the more other popular games will appear on this system. We've already had Doom. We've had Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim and stuff. I mean, hell, Skyrim's on everything, but you never would have thought of being on a Nintendo system. Yeah. Wolfenstein 2 is going to be releasing this year on the Switch. Then you had the sudden unveiling of Dark Souls Remaster. Hell, what's there to say that we may get like games like, say, like big heavy hitters potentially, like say Persona 5 or a Nier Automata from Atlas, or maybe even like, I don't know, just some sort of major AAA like game thing, like maybe an Injustice 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
All those have a huge amount of possibilities of coming onto the Switch at this point, because this is almost mirror image of exactly how the Wii, how successful that system was. But the difference between the Wii and the Nintendo Switch is the gimmick along the lines for the Nintendo Switch is you basically take it anywhere with you. It's a handheld, and it can be used as a console. Whereas the playstyle for the Wii was quintessentially motion controls. Quintessentially. Mm-hmm. So that's just the thing. In this age of smartphone technology, all the various electronic handhelds, the Nintendo Switch is probably one of the most attractive options for hardworking people like you and I to work and play games on the go, especially if we have very little time to play as it is. So it's like, the height of this thing could go even higher by year's end, and that in and of itself I feel is amazing. Yeah. So, well,
yeah, I mean, I agree with you for the most part on that. Like, this could potentially be, I don't know if it can see Wii numbers. Like, I don't know if it's catching on like that. I kind of looking at it and trying to be, I don't want to be like super negative about this. Like, I'm not trying to be negative about it, but just kind of looking at it. Like, I think the reason, like, that it's the fastest selling of all time is that most consoles, probably every console since like maybe the Dreamcast or Sega Saturn, this is the first major home console to come out not in the holiday season.
Yeah.
So I think the reason why we're seeing that break the record, not putting it like this is it's selling super well. It's selling faster than any other console in history. In United States history, and a lot of like I said, a lot of countries in Europe and everything, in Japan. But it came out in March, so we all remember that first couple months when it came out. It was hard to find, even in like the springtime, like late spring, it was hard to find, and then finally towards the end of the summer, it's getting a little easier to find. You're seeing a lot more shipments coming in, and they were saying, well, we're going to triple our previous intentions. Like they said, they were originally planning on only shipping like 3 or 4 million in the first. In the calendar year of 2017.
Yeah.
And then like now their sales numbers, they wanted to sell 10 million in 2017. And it looks like they might have did it. Well, they did do it actually. We've talked about that previously. But they had 6 months, 6 to 8 months to get ready for the holiday season. And it seems like based off Mario Odyssey's attach rate, that time they had is what made the difference in getting the numbers. Which I don't want to like. Obviously, everything they've done is super impressive, but I think that's why we're seeing the record. And I don't know if this is taking off. I'm curious. I want if this is taking off faster than the Wii. Like, I don't think it is, just because the Wii, the price point was $200. I think it was $200 or $250. Had the gimmick with the motion controls like we talked about. But I think as like you thought, the tablet phones being played on the go, it's. I don't know if it's a gimmick per se, but it's as far as like a reason to buy a console. It's a really great way, especially in like countries like Japan or like if you live in a big city when you're traveling a lot. Like, yeah, they fucking like when I first saw it, I was a little iffy on it, but the way I am a lot of times with Nintendo, but they fucking knocked it out of the park, and it's awesome to see that. Like we talked about a few weeks ago, like they're probably gonna break the record any day now or not break the record, but pass sales for the Wii U, and
Yep.
it's gonna happen. They're on pace. They said they're thinking it's gonna happen sometime in January, and so. Well, I won't be surprised any day now we see the press release about them passing. I think it was like 12.8 million sold of the Wii U. So,
Yep.
and they were at a little over 10 million a few weeks ago. But no, it's awesome. And like just thinking like it's crazy how they gonna top that. Obviously, third party support. Like what do we get from third party? But first, like looking at first party, I think that's gonna drive them more than anything. And also, like indie sports can help them, but like as far as system sellers, like Hyrule Warriors, Donkey Kong, Tropical Freeze, I don't think there's gonna be, and no one's buying a console for that. But it's cool to like giving people more reason to pick it up and play it. Like the Wii U, for a lot of people, like especially for me, like it's sit for months. I wouldn't play it, and I'm happy we're getting more reasons to jump into it sooner. There's not that big a gap in the Nintendo console, and like I'm a hardcore fan, so I know when shit's coming out. But for a casual fan, like a lot of people might forget they have a Wii or they have a Wii U. People talk about, oh, but Wii just sat in the closet for years. They just stopped thinking about it after a while.
Yeah.
And Nintendo was keeping it in your mind, like with the directs, with the game, with all these games coming out. Like there's like shit happening all the time. We talk about
Yep.
there's like a big game coming out every month. It might not have been like a AAA game, but it was a solid good game coming out every month or every 6 weeks. And here we are looking at 2018. So far, looking pretty good. Like it's all the big guns. Most of the big guns are out there. Like maybe we've already got the 3D Mario, already got Mario Kart 8, or Mario Kart. We've already got Zelda in the new Zelda game. Probably not gonna see any of those. Maybe till the end of the generation. Maybe not till next generation. But I mean, those are probably 3 of their 5 biggest franchises, other than like or 3 of their big sixes. If you include 2D Mario, Smash, and Pokemon. Those are the 3 we haven't seen. And Pokemon don't plan on seeing that probably this year. Maybe we get a port or a new Mario Maker. Smash 4 probably gonna be a thing. So that all that stuff's coming out. Like 2 of those 3 are probably gonna come out this year or in the next year and a half. So like, what are they gonna like? What big things do they have on the horizon that we might not even know about? Like it's like Nintendo's like they've always been doing. They've always gone to the beat of their own drum, which in a way you love and respect, and at other times you just want to fucking strangle them. But it's just kind of a cool time. It's more than ever. It's a cool time to be a Nintendo fan, and just be a gamer in general, but especially a Nintendo fan. So that it's awesome to see, and I am excited to see kind of what's coming on the horizon. For me personally, like every year for me really, I'm always most excited to see Nintendo's E3 Direct.
Yes.
And this year, I think I might be more excited at this point than I was last year's. Like last year's was cool, but we are like for the most part we already knew it was coming. We just wanted more concrete dates.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows what's gonna happen at this E3?
We have no idea.
Yeah, maybe obviously we got 6 months out, but it's like shit might leak. We might get more details about what they're gonna talk about. But it's like sky's the limit for them, and the ceiling's also really far down. Like this can go really bad. Like with the Wii, like they kind of like they were cool. It was like the big item there for a year and a half, and then it was just kind of like it just kind of died, And I think the important thing for Nintendo is keeping this train rolling, and let's hope they can do it, And they're gonna have to go guns blazing. They don't have, they're not gonna have the big, they're not gonna have the Call of Duties, the Far Cry games, or the fucking Star Wars games like the PS4 and Xbox One have to rely on, So I'm curious like what they're gonna do, and it's fun, it's exciting. But actually a way that might help them maybe possibly get like a Call of Duty type of game is the 64 gigabyte SD cards. I guess Nintendo originally planned on making these so people for publishers can use 64 gigabyte cards. In the second half of the year, they're going to release them so that they can put more storage on them. People can make bigger games for the consoles. But that's now been pushed back to 2019. I guess there's some technical issues going on with that. So currently, right now, the biggest card largest card you can use is a 32 gigabyte. Right now, PS4 and Xbox One Blu-rays hold about 50 gigabyte. Um, so a lot of it sounds like a lot of publishers in the U.S. are not now are going to hold off on releasing games or just outright not make games, certain games for the Switch until they get 64. There's been a lot of issues, a lot of talk about like with like WWE 2K and NBA 2K and Doom. There's been a handful of other ones where like big games being ported over third party wise, like the download on the download you have to get once you actually buy the game is actually bigger than the cartridge than the actually is in the game itself. Like there's like a 19 gigabyte download you had to do for NBA 2K18. Doom, you had to get they don't even have the map creator mode. I can't remember what it's called, Snap Map, and you had to download the multiplayer separately. Not huge ordeals, but if you don't have you only have 32 gigabytes of storage, and then if you, depending on the size of your SD card that you do have, could be a major problem for you. So this is one of those things we're talking about could be kind of a depending on the track, something that can maybe cause problems for them down the road. But what are you on this, Gables?
Oh yeah, well basically I kind of feel that's kind of disappointing considering that like you just went through and just stated before where a lot of the AAA games that are making use of like a lot of the content are starting to do digital with the Switch, which is kind of conflicting because the cards themselves will maybe hold maybe up to 32 gigabytes and like you were saying with games like NBA 2K18 where people have to basically get another card in order to try to go through or even invest inside their first SD card to get for their Switch. It's just really inconvenient, and I just hope that these 64 gigabyte style Switch cards actually come to use within the next year at least.
Yeah. Like I said, I think this might be the first possibly crack in the wall that is Nintendo, and how this freight train that we're on and of hype and love for Nintendo, and could potentially drive away. Obviously it sounds like it's driving off, maybe not driving off completely, but it's gonna delay or stop the chances of some certain games getting made for the Switch. And I hope this gets corrected soon because that's gonna be awesome. When we get 64, that means bigger games, nice looking games. And more options for publishers. It might attract some of the big wigs like EA and Ubisoft. Well, not so much Ubisoft. Ubisoft obviously has always been a big supporter of Nintendo. But maybe maybe we're gonna see more maybe the next Assassin's Creed game or the next Call of Duty game or Star Wars game, whatever. Maybe not big multiplayer games, but at least the big single player stuff. Watch Dogs 3. The big sellers out there, that could potentially come to the Switch with this kind of card. So yeah, I hope this gets fixed soon, or they have a better timeline, and that they can kind of get back the things that they're losing out of this. But yeah, it's a bummer. This is like I said, this is kind of this could potentially be. It's a small thing that kind of came and went, but it's not really a sexy headline, but it could potentially be a much bigger issue down the line for Nintendo. This might not. We're not going to feel it. We're probably not going to feel the effects this year, but maybe in a year or two is when we're going to start. There's a lot of games that would have come to the Switch that aren't going to be there now. That Nintendo could have had or could use. But yeah, I think that's pretty much going to cover it, Gables.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty crazy week or crazy couple weeks in gaming. Awesome time, obviously, being gamer. So yeah, it's gonna be a good year. Sounds like for at least a good first half of the year. So yeah, but thank you guys. It's good to be back. Even though for you guys we really haven't left, but for us we have. But thank you for listening. If you want to hear more from us, we have a Facebook page and group. It is Drunk Nerds Podcast. Like and follow us on there, or like and join us on there. Sorry, on YouTube, subscribe to us on there. It's Drunk Nerds. The show goes up on there. If you listen to the show on YouTube, give us a thumbs up and subscribe, please. On iTunes, also subscribe to us in there, if you will. Drunk Dashers Podcast. Leave us a 5-star review. Leave us a nice little comment. We really appreciate that. It really helps people see us, so we get more attention. We like attention. Attention's good. And Twitter, at Drunk Nerds Pod. Follow us on there. Retweet us, like us, please. And then also on Twitch, check us out, Drunk Nerds Podcast. Follow us on there, send us friend requests, and also check out Colonel Gables on Twitch.
Yep.
Follow him and give him a friend request too while you're over there. So thank you guys so much for listening. I was Tyler.
And I have been Colonel Gables. So until next time, everyone, hope you have yourself a good week, and above all else, game on.
Mm-hmm. Hey, everybody.
Later.
Or good day. I don't know. Whatever the fuck you listen to this. It's good night to us. Bye, guys. Excuse me. Few too many beers there. Anyways, we're on iTunes now, so go on there, check us out, and if you like us, leave us a review, and we'll even shout you out. And Jack will send you his credit card number.